Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Builder Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 36 today and we're back after a narrow defeat against Malmo, surprisingly, to face KF Tirana in the Europa Conference qualifying as we look to go on a run and boost the Welsh coefficient. We need the other clubs to help us out and they sort of are. We'll talk a bit more about that later. But we're back 4 days before the game, as you can see, and there is a very specific reason for that. Because the most important part of this save is it's not build a club, it's not build Bangor City, it's not get success with Bangor, it is build a nation. The nation is Wales, and Wales have offered us the manager's job. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but firstly, if you are looking forward to this episode, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. And of course, you can catch up with anything you've missed from most of the playlists in the eye above so far, as well as a link over to the podcast channel too. But we have got to talk about this. It is the star of the show now, so let me very quickly get out of the way the Champions League game. We nearly came back mid-game against Malmo. We went 1-1 and we started to dominate. And unfortunately, we just couldn't get that second, or you would have been coming back for the start of extra time. As it is though, we just got edged out by Malmo, and we are now in the Europa Conference. And they're the margins that can delay these saves by a year or two. But let's talk about the main thing. Wales have offered us the manager's job to replace Ryan Giggs. It's 2024, and I'm a little bit torn on this. In normal circumstances, I would say it's a bit too early in the save. We'd like to do this sort of 7, 8, 9 years down the line. However, they're 30th in the world rankings. They've got an excellent squad. Some of the young stars that were coming through, the likes of Mepham, James, Ampadu, Brooks, all now world-class players. Mepham starting for Real Madrid most weeks. He's a quality footballer. Dan James is playing first-team football at Newcastle and has really developed. Ethan Ampadu is in the squad regularly at Chelsea. David Brooks starring for Wolves. They've also got a wonder kid at Middlesbrough called Callum Kavanagh, who at 20 years of age has scored 9 goals in 11 caps, is worth £35 million and is an absolute superstar. So as a result of that, I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, yes, it's probably too early in the save normally, but is there ever going to be a better chance? They've still got the likes of Nico Williams, who we knew so well from last year's save over with Cliftonville. We've got the likes of Tom Lockyer, who currently plays for Luton Town. Joe Morrell the same, now worth 11 million at Anderlecht. They've also got the likes of Ben Davis at 31 now, who's still a really valuable player in the squad. Experienced goalkeepers, good strikers, 17 million for Jack Vale, a quality striker there as well. And I really want to take this job. I really want to take it, but I don't think it's the right thing to do at this stage. So it is really wrestling with me a bit. I think overall I am going to turn it down. If you look at the under-21s, there's not as much quality coming through. There's not as much talent in the youth sides that there would be previously. But I'm looking at that first team squad there and I'm thinking, let's be honest, all bar 6 of the players are under 27. So even if we get offered this job again in 2 years' time or in 4 years' time, that's still going to be 2/3 of the squad. So as a result, I'm not as eager. I really want to take it, but I know it's not the right thing at this stage of the Builder Nation, because I've got to build the Welsh League before I take the Wales job. And as a result, I'm going to reject the offer. But what a flattering offer to get, just 4 years into the save. The fact that we've not even done many coaching badges in this one, it really is bizarre. We've only got a National C licence. We've just got under a 2-star reputation. We said that SPFL Trust Trophy run was going to make a difference. Our work in Europe has helped. And they've now got the key stat of guiding Bangor City to an unbeaten season. And that's obviously caught the attention. But there's also other things we've got to talk about in terms of building the nation. And to do that, we need to go to the Europa Conference. Because we said that there were some teams in their ties after the first leg. And it looks like we've got some real success stories in there. So firstly, an unfortunate bit of news. Aberystwyth did lose their tie. They went out 3-2 to Riga of Latvia. But they're the side that got in via the playoffs. They haven't really invested in the summer. And have not got the greatest squad in truth. If we look at the transfers in, there is literally nothing. So not much of a turnover there. However, if we go back to the league draw and we have a look at the first qualifiers, you'll notice that the other 2 Welsh sides, Carmarthen against Murat, the 2.5-star Slovenian team, they came back and won 3-2 on aggregate. And TNS, of course the side who are professional, who we would expect to get something out of, they came through their side against two-star Georgian side Samtradia 2-1 on aggregate with a 0-0 draw in the second leg. That was away from home as well, a really good effort. So let's just look at who they've got in the second qualifiers. Of course, it's probably going to be a bit much to ask there. Carmarthen go to a Bosnian side in Borac, who are also 2.5 star professional. If we look at their players greyed out, they're pretty good. So we'd expect them to fall at that hurdle. TNS, on the other hand, if we look at their second qualifier, they've drawn AC Horsens from Denmark, who are a 2.5 star side. And look at those sorts of players. They had no chance of competing. But two clubs, other than us, getting through a round hasn't happened before. So that's going to make a massive difference for the coefficient. Just those little baby steps towards quality. If they can have good transfer windows this year and get good players in, it can really start to improve. Ironically, it was our youngster Dave Griffith who scored the winner for Carmarthen in their tie. So plenty of positives there. But let's skip ahead. We've got 4 days until KF Tirana, a 2-star Albanian side. They've got one real player who is probably not good enough to get in our team. And as a result, I'm fairly confident. The greyed out players aren't as good as ours. So let's skip ahead to Thursday and see if we can get Europa Conference success. Well, this is remarkable. We've just had the draw for the third qualifying round. If we get past the Albanian side Tirana, we actually get an easier draw. 2 1-star sides, KI from Faroe Islands and Drita from Kosovo. So we're almost in the position where if we get through this round, we can then skip the next one off camera because it's going to be a game we're favourites for, with a seeded side because we're facing Tirana. So if we get past this tie, we should get to the playoff again. And if we get someone like Karabakh, as we mentioned last time, I think we can do it. So let's skip ahead to Thursday, a big game to come. And we know the reward now is likely a very winnable tie. First leg time. We've had an interesting week. There's some really good players popping up in our scout reports who want too much money at the minute, but they're released players. They're sort of in their mid-20s. They're former Welsh under-21 internationals. And if after 2 or 3 months of the season they haven't been signed elsewhere, and then they're willing to come here within our budget, or we get to the group stages and can offer them more, it could be a turning point in the series. But for us, it's a big game today. We've got some minutes into some of the other lads just by playing a friendly off camera, so we've got a chance to really get a good squad in here. I'm just going to make the changes back to the squad I was used to. So even press in midfield, Hockenhull and Badebo switch. We've offered a contract to Jake Taylor, who was on trial. He's not yet agreed it, so we'll miss out on this tie, I'm afraid. But aside from that, we know what our strongest 11 is, and it will be taking part in today's game. We're going to get Silla on the bench instead of Gwenault. Make sure we've got as many outfield options as possible. But as we go to face KF Tirana, we know the prize is another easy tie afterwards. So this is one we've got to win. We've got our best 11 out. It's a Brett in goal. Vaughan and Bolton the fullbacks with Badebo and Hockenhull centre-half. Benson, Brooks, Press and Cottrell the midfield 4. Duffy and Dean the strike force. Duffy fit again. Everyone back in form. And into the first leg we go. If we can get a result in Albania, we will get through in this tie. Let's see if we can do it. And here is the lineup. 6 subs for the host. They've got a decent side, but on paper we should be winning this. So we're going to tell the lads exactly that. I'm going to start as positive. We might change it after 10 if it doesn't work out. 5 minutes on the clock. We've had the first shot, but no highlights. They're playing a 3-5-2, which we don't always do well against. But we just need that away goal. And if we can keep a clean sheet, then happy days. So throw on the left for Bolton around the halfway mark. 15 on the clock. Duffy switches it, a drop deeper there. Vaughan can't get there and he's nicked by the left winger. And he's got the chance to come forward now. Vaughan closes him, forces him back, but it's a long ball forward. Hockenhull heads down for press. Good defending. Benson gets it wide to Vaughan. Down the line to Max Dean. The goal scorer away in Malmo as it happens. Down the line from Vaughan to him again. 2 in the box. Duffy's one of them. But the keeper gets down, holds it well, because there were 2 vultures swarming around to get the rebound. They weren't able to get there as the long ball forward is won by Badebo. Benson knocks it in for Cottrell. Over the top to Max Dean. Has to score and does score. Excellent football from the number 10. A lovely guided through ball. And Max Dean on form in Europe again. It's Tirana 0, Bangor City 1. The crucial away goal comes early. Utter dominance on the stats, 9 shots to none, 7 on target to none. But the same as that home game against Malmo, we've only got 1 goal to show. As Bolton gets it back to Brooks, can this be the second? Benson to press, edge of the box, time on the ball, and even press fires it in. It is 2-0 to Bangor City, and surely we are going to be through to the playoff round of this competition. Because if we get through here, we're the favourites against either a side from the Faroes or was it Kosovo? 1-star reputation sides. And we could go on a real big run. We just need one lucky draw then. As Benson picks it up to Bolton, 25 yards out. Back to Brooks. Bolton again on the left. 3 in the box every time on the end of it. Cottrell flicks on. Dean's there. Tie over. 3-0 Bangor City. Sensational first half performance. And that ruthless edge is back. Joe Duffy not quite to fitness yet. But everyone else is firing and on form. Max Dean with 2. Even Press with 1. And assist galore for the midfield as Vaughan finds Dean again. Oh, it's a dirty tackle. That's going to be a red card. And at 3-0, that is exactly what we needed. It's probably the one mistake we made against Malmo, not going positive after the red card. But at half-time, 10 shots on target, 3 goals, and now a one-man advantage. Surely, Bangor City are getting through here. We're going to tell the lads to keep it going, get into the second half. But it couldn't have gone much better as Cottrell puts the outswinging corner in. Dean loses out in the air, but we've got a penalty. Where's that come from? Duffy's been put down to take it. Ben Cottrell is the best taker at the club. And there is no time at the moment, unfortunately, for taking a gamble. So Ben Cottrell will take the pen. The best penalty taker steps up, left-footed, 2 assists already. Can he make it a goal? He can. Little dink down the middle as the keeper dives to his left. And it is Tirana 0, Bangor City 4. 15 shots on target. What a performance it's been. As Ethan Vaughan finds Benson in the middle. Chance to go back out to him. Vaughan overlapping, got acres of space to run into. We can start to think about the kids here. The likes of Jack Hankin, Alex Reid. Ball into Duffy. And he's made it 5. This is sort of like that moment with Cliftonville last year where we played Maccabi Tel Aviv. I mean, I'll put it in the eye above, but we just went nuts. And suddenly it's happened here again. 16 shots on target, not one effort for Tirana. I know the red card is helping us, but it was already 3. And I think now we can go and make some changes. Again, we're just easing Duffy back in, so Glatzel will come off the bench for him. I'm going to make that change at right back, I think. Ethan Vaughan replaced by Jack Hankin, and Alex Reid will come on for Hockenholt, who's not had to do a great deal. So if we can keep it and not concede more than 1 perhaps after making these changes, I think we'll be very happy. But the home leg should be an absolute riot. As Dean gets it back to Jack Hankin. Delivers the young right back. Cottrell can't get there. Falls for Bolton on the left side of the box. His cross is blocked back to Cottrell. Benson plays a 1-2 with him. Hankin's out right if they can find him. Cottrell plays a 1-2 with Press instead. Eventually it does find its way to Hankin. He gets it inside to Press. Lovely football. Really keeping it well. Moving it at pace. The tempo's high as Hankin gives it away. But it only falls for Reid on halfway. Time on the ball again. Over the top towards Dean. Header away is only going to find Hankin. And for these youngsters, to be involved in this is incredible. What an awful clearance by the keeper. Have you ever seen anything like it? The through ball came from Hankin. It was overhit. The keeper could have just picked it up. Instead volleyed it clear with his left foot. It drilled its way to Brooks 30 yards out. And he just glides it first time into an empty net. 6-0 to Bangor City. This is a dream. We said that last season we started to play that football. And it's showing on the big stage here as Cottrell slides Dean in. Might be offside. It's not. It's 7. It's almost embarrassing now. Tirana 0, Bangor City 7. And this is against a side that aren't a million miles behind us. And I think this definitely shows we'll have to skip the 3rd round because it's going to be an absolute mauling again. But 21 shots on target, none for Tirana, and 7-0 to Bangor City. Surely our finest hour in charge so far. Let's skip ahead to the second leg. We can give a couple of the youngsters a run out as well. And who thought we'd be able to do that in Europe? A brilliant start. And with the league season round the corner as well, we'll get to see some youngsters in European football action. We're back for game 2. We should be through already. And we've got 2 new signings to enjoy with this one as well. Some offers being made by our Director of Football for loans. But for us, we've brought in Jake Taylor, who we had on trial. £750 a week. Definitely a starting centre midfielder. And then Jimmy Jarrett, who we pre-agreed to sign on loan last January, but we had to turn him down for Brooks because of the 4 players per season rule. So he's come in for 3.5-star ability, 5-star potential, excellent personality. We've got ourselves a new starting left back. Those 2, of course, both ineligible today, so won't take part in this one. But let's go and have a look at our lineup and who we might want to change around. We said we're going to give a couple of the youngsters a go, so let's prioritise our permanent players. Hankin in for Vaughan. Reed will come in for Hockenhull at centre-half. I'm just going to rotate the front two. I'm going to let both Harness and Glatzel start instead of Duffy and Dean, just because I think it's the right thing to do in this instance. And in fact, you know what? Because we haven't got other options, I might be tempted to take Brooks out instead. We need to protect him as our under-19 for the leagues, and he's a loan player. He's never going to be here long-term. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. So let's drop Cottrell one position. Let's then also drop Harness one position where he looks better anyway. In fact, we could just play Harness in centre midfield. It doesn't make any difference. I don't think he has a preferred side, does he? Central, so that works a treat. Harness in central midfield, and we will give Dean the game up front because he scores so many goals. We just feel like we have to give him the chance. Silla looks like he's on his way out with Jake Taylor joining the club. And then we've got young Kieran Clark, who will become the backup left back, because he's a 17-year-old who fills that quota in the squad. So into the game we go, a few changes made. Hankin and Reed in at the back, Harnett in central midfield, and Paul Glatzel in up front. 4 changes made, it's Bangor v Tirana, and surely we can't blow a 7-goal lead. Here we go then. We know that we should be expecting a victory today. The only thing that can go wrong is complacency. So we're going to get the lads out there, we're going to try and get a good result. I just want to put on a bit of a show for the fans, really. We're bringing gate receipts in Europe that we wouldn't normally get. We get the opportunity to be on TV. We get the opportunity to bring in prize money as Press gets in from a free kick. And we've already got the goal. A fantastic ball into the box. It was Benson who delivered it. And even Press, the skipper for the night, makes it 8-0 on aggregate after just over a minute. Will probably, ironically, lose his place in the side once Taylor qualifies. And Tirana have had the better start here in terms of chances. They've got a corner kick which Press heads away. Cottrell will get on the end of it, but we've got so much firepower. Even taking Duffy out to then bring in Glatzel is so much quality as Dean gets in again. Could lay Glatzel in, goes himself. Little bit greedy in the end. It's hit the post, it's gone away. We've got the narrow pitch in place ready for this season, and hopefully we'll be firing on all cylinders. The 4-2-3-1 for our visitors tonight, certainly working a bit better than the back three as Harness's header is cleared off the line and Shashi clears it long downfield. Badebo intercepts. Harness to Bolton. He's got a chance to go back, finds Badebo, and he'll go back out to Bolton left back. Another one who's going to be a backup soon. He puts Glatzel in this time though. It's tipped behind for the corner. And I'm starting to enjoy this European run. We've got a corner kick on the left-hand side. Benson's in swinger. 23 minutes on the clock. It's headed away. Not the best delivery in truth. We just need to open the floodgates a little bit. We get 2 or 3. Could be a fun night again. But with half an hour on the clock, it's just 1-0. And the dominance against this formation certainly isn't quite the same. As Hankin picks it up again. Time on the ball, down the line to Cottrell. Finds so much space in that number 10 position. Slides in Max Dean. Must score this time. Chips it over the keeper and hits the defender. A bizarre move that, but Hankin's got a throw on the right. Dean flicks it on. Harness is there. Just cleared away in front of him. Finds Alex Reed, looking for match fitness, and today's a good opportunity. Finds Badebo in the centre circle. Our furthest man back to Bolton. Left wing finds Harness. Into Cottrell. Finds Glatzel. He's brought down for the pen. We're going to VAR, I think. Didn't know we had it in the conference. Oh, we haven't. It's just a penalty kick. Delayed for the yellow card. And a chance to score again. Benson, I believe, will step up. No, it's even Press. Takes the penalty straight at the keeper. And after scoring early on, he's become the villain again. Not the best penalty kick at all. Having said that, we've still got the chance from the corner. Benson delivers it. In-swinger to Badebo. It's a feeble header straight at the keeper, Abazi. And Tirana survive. 1-0 with 10 to the break. Well, it's not as vintage this time, but it's still very comfortable. And the lads, they're struggling to motivate themselves a bit. But some of the youngsters in have given a good account. Hankin's played well on the right. Harness has had a threat or two. Glatzel's not really had a chance, but more due to Dean's sort of selfishness in front of goal. So we might bring Duffy on soon, who's a better player, a better team man. As Reed goes over the top towards Dean. Flicks down for Glatzel this time. Lovely chest control. Puts Dean in left side of the box. 3 in the middle. Goes back to Bolton. Into Glatzel. And there's his first goal of the season too. Paul Glatzel off the mark. A good sign for the strikers. And we have got so much quality in this side. We're going to start to build this nation pretty quick now. I love it if we can reach the group stages. We're going to get to that playoff round again. It's just who we draw. The coefficient isn't good enough to get us seeded then. And we need to get lucky with who we get. As it's picked up on the left-hand side for our visitors. They're surging down here with not much pressure. Hankin tries to close, but it's a short pass instead. Into central midfield. Good football here, and they're going to create a chance, I think. Jasufi picks it up into midfield. And they're just edging closer to our goal here. They're in the final third, but we're pressing so well. And this time we forced them back, but they do get in with Shashi. Good block by Badebo. And it's back out to the left-hand side. Chip down the line. It's a through ball to Shashi. He's beaten Zabret to it, and he hits the post after rounding the keeper. Really should have done better there. Excellent to create the chance, and just blew it at the final hurdle. Just under half an hour on the clock. We will start to make some changes now. Leaker's cross in. It's going to be headed in as well. Zabret doesn't save it. It's not great, to be honest. And it's back down to 2-1 on the night. It's not going to affect the tie, of course, but let's get some players on instead. We're going to give Ben Cottrell a rest. He'll be replaced by Mitch Pixley. We're going to take off Max Dean, I think, for Joe Duffy. And then Badebo's the most important defender, so let's take him off for Hockenhull. He'll switch sides with Reed with half an hour to go. It's 2-1 on the night, 9-1 on aggregate. And let's just see if these lads can avoid conceding again. As it's a throw for Tirana on the left-hand side. It's a poor one which Duffy intercepts, gets into the box himself, cuts it across to Pixley. There's the team side we talked about. Mitch Pixley guides it into the corner. And Joe Duffy off the bench doing the teamwork for us. And he makes such a difference. The assists he gets compared to Dean, absolutely remarkable. 20 to go, 3-1 on the night. And we've got a throw with Hankin on the right-hand side. He's got 4 or 5 options. Goes into Duffy. Flicks on for Glatzel. It's 4. What a difference it makes having a striker who's a team player. Joe Duffy flicks on and Glatzel gets his second of the night. Now, can he sneak the hat-trick? Well, throw on the right-hand side for the visitors. Still 15 to go. Awful defending. Really is awful. Who was it who missed the header? I think even Press. Since that early goal, his night has been shocking. The very strange end to this game. It's become a little bit of end-to-end chaos, and we didn't need to do that. With 11 goals scored on aggregate, we didn't need to concede anything. As it's through to Shashi, he's going to score again here. We've got to be worried about this defending, because this is largely our backup back four now. And defending like this in cup games, in league games where they're required, we have to be concerned. There it is then, 11-2 on aggregate, a really good result. Not the best performance in the second half, but we managed the tie, we got through. We've got 2 better players to add to the squad for the next round, and an easier opponent in terms of reputation as well. Unfortunately, TNS have gone out. They lost 3-0 in the second leg after drawing the home one. And where are Carmarthen? They've got through. Carmarthen have done it again. They're into the third qualifying round. Go on, Carmarthen. What a side. They finished second in the league last year. We've got KI of the Pharaohs, which we're going to play off camera because we're pretty confident about that. Glatzel got a brace. We'll go and praise him. He was superb in front of goal. But who have plucky little Carmarthen got? What on earth have they been doing in Europe? Their key man, Jack Owen, is becoming a very good defender at this level. They've got a new manager in, his former TNS man, Richard Ryan, and he's doing one hell of a job there. Let's have a look at the schedule. They've got Lech Poznan. What a tie that is for them. The money financially from the gate receipts. They've got to just take advantage and turn professional. Their finances must be good soon. So hopefully it will pay dividends. Hopefully they will go professional. We just need those sides to start adapting, and hopefully time will do that with this team. But if we have a look at our schedule, we're going to skip through the first few games. We've got the 2 legs there. We've got the first league game against Newtown and the cup tie against Hollywell. So we should be back for the Europa Conference playoff rounds. And fingers crossed it's going to be a big one. I hope we can compete on all fronts. But this, with Carmarthen's run as well, with TNS getting through a round, is a big moment for Welsh football. So if you did enjoy the tie, you think the transfers are good and you're seeing progress in this save, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Fingers crossed we'll breeze past the Pharaohs and we'll be able to get a big tie in a playoff. And just 1 game away from European group stage football. It only takes 1 lucky draw. If you want to stay up to date with that and make sure you don't miss any of the action, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories, as well as 2 live streams a week on here as well. And there's a link in the eye above to all the key playlists, as well as the podcast channel too. But a big thank you for watching, for supporting this European run. I feel like we've finally found our best now, and we're on the road to glory. It's taken a few years to get to this stage, but as we move into Season 5, I think the progress is going to start to speed up. I'll see you next time to find out if I'm right.